That makes sense.
I might sell it later on. Yeah, but yeah, a couple years in there. I'll be traveling.
Nice.
I might sit RV park for a few months or somewhere in the city.
Are you like a homeless person?
Yeah. No, oh, I'm not home, streetless.
People who live in
I'm not homeless,
RV, are they like homeless people?
I'm streetless. I have no designated street. That's my area.
But a homeless RV home person is like a homeless, right? Is that right?
Kind of.
Yeah, they said yes.
Rubber train. Rubber train. What do you call rubber train?
So you feel like a homeless person?
In the effect that I got to keep moving on the street all the time, and harassed by the city. Yeah.
What about the PCH? There's all those crusty old RVs. Yeah. Up and down Malibu.
I haven't
The
seen
best
that.
real estate in the country.
I haven't seen
All
that.
right,
yet.
those are homeless
I'm gonna go
people.
Check that out
Yeah,
pretty
they just
soon.
let them sit there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might go see that next weekend.
So you don't have to.
Actually,
So you don't have to worry about.
Go see Malibu,
You don't have to pay rent, right? Because you're homeless in an RV.
No, what you do is you get tickets. You get a lot of tickets. That's what you call street.
Huh?
You get a lot of tickets, it's like
Yeah.
paying rent. There's millionaires that are doing that now.
You get a lot of tickets, so it's like paying rent.
That's what
I know people that are worth millions that are doing that, just living in RVs. They don't.
And they're worth millions? How you know they're worth millions?
Yeah, well,
So I'm gonna move into an RV. Good morning, welcome to Fellowship. I am Jesse Lee Peterson. Thank you all for being with me. I do appreciate it. You can get involved by going to our YouTube chat line, and Hake will pass on your questions or comments to me concerning today's meeting, and I do appreciate it. Good morning, y'all. Good morning. How's everybody? Good. First timers? Any first timers? Oh, good morning. Only one. Welcome. What's your name?
Good morning, Jesse. My name is Cindy. I'm visiting from Tucson, Arizona. I was born and raised in California.
Oh, nice. Well, welcome.
My son invited me to come this
Oh,
morning.
nice. He tried to destroy his relationship with you?
Not at all. No, he's listened to you for years, and so I've listened to you too.
You listen?
Yes,
And do you disagree or agree?
I agree.
Anything you disagree with?
Not really.
Oh.
And then my son-in-law from Tucson, Arizona wanted to say hello, Al Marquez. He's listens to you also.
Hey, Al.
So
And so when your son went and forgave you, how did you deal with it? When he said, I'm
It
sorry
was-
for resenting you.
it's beautiful. I have
So that's what
God's
you said? Are you
forgiveness.
like,
and-
this is beautiful?
No, but I mean, because I made a lot of mistakes as a parent, as a
Right.
mother, and forgiveness is to me, it is a beautiful thing. And having God's forgiveness, having my children's forgiveness, it's,
You have
and
a
being able to
daughter-in-law?
forgive. Pardon?
Do you have a daughter-in-law? Are
No,
you-
I have a daughter.
Oh, but not a.
This is like my daughter-in-law.
Oh, that's your daughter-in-law?
Uh-huh.
Oh, God. Do you like her?
I love her.
No, does she like you?
I believe so. They invited me on this trip.
They try to get you healed.
Okay. Never
No,
too
man.
old for healing.
That's right. Well, welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome. Is this your first time here? The daughter-in-law?
No,
Oh,
in August was
Okay.
my first time, like August 25th,
right on.
I think.
Okay, nice. Okay, so I was thinking over the weekend, I realized that most people is living a sad life, and they love their sad life, and they protect their sad life. And if you try to tell them that you don't have to live a sad life, you can live a happy, free, amazing life, they fight you on it. And I noticed that they fight even with themselves, because there are some people who work to try to wake up, But when they get to the verge of waking up, they overreact because they really love their misery. I noticed too that most people just love living in the past and the future. And if you try to take that away from them, they'll kill you. They love their memories. Even in bad relationships, when the relationships are ending, they love to think about how good it was. Or, oh, I should go back to her or him because I remember we used to walk on the beach. Or I remember when we used to this or that. And it's just a memory, and then they'll get back together and start the hell all over again and not realize they just went back to false memories. That happened then, that's not what's happening now. And it's so amazing, and I understand it, but it's so amazing how attached human beings are to the false self. It's interesting too that you don't have to be attached to the false self. You can be free just like that. And then for those who are working to overcome, you get opportunity all the time to overcome the false self, but instead of overcoming it, you overreact and you stay with it. It's like you think you're protecting someone by thinking that you're protecting yourself. And it's amazing to see. It's just so amazing to me how blind we are as human beings. And as a result, how destructive we are. And everything we call good is evil. We love evil. I was thinking about this guy, Diddy, the singer, actor. You know, he's going through a lot. We're hearing about him. He's like a musician, right? A rapper or something? Yes. And he's going through a lot of stuff now. And so I want to talk about that a little bit, but it just occurred to me, I want to hear, how many people, for me, you heard about the story, what's happening with Diddy now? Oh, everybody there, huh? Everybody love Diddy. What do you think about what's happening with Diddy right now? Even though we don't know the people involved, we don't know the whole story, and we don't know if the story is true or not.
Well, these rumors have gone back since.
And how much is false, we just don't know. Just FYI. Yeah. But what do you think about Diddy and the story? What's your impression about it?
These rumors go back to like their late 90s. And I think that if somebody has been saying something about you for a long time, and you're constantly being accused of the same thing, you're probably been doing those things that people have accused you of.
And so what do you think about what he's been accused of and what he's going through now?
Well, I mean,
and the people that, even though we don't know the people involved yet, but the people,
I don't
what
think,
do you think about the ordeal itself?
I think it doesn't matter because it's been so long that this happened and they're finally doing something about it now. So it's like, why are you moving to do something about it now? I feel like it's just being used as a distraction to I don't know, proliferate something else. I just think it's, I don't know, a distraction. It's a media distraction.
Oh, okay.
Like many things.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I react strongly to this one because it's just amazing to me to see that this is a public lynching, basically, is what it is. I'm familiar with the indictment. I've gone through it a little bit, and basically, the guy was essentially having parties, orgies, and flying in prostitutes.
According to the series.
Yeah, according to the indictment.
Yeah.
Okay, flying in prostitutes for his friends to all partake in, and then that's called sex trafficking. So then it becomes, and then if you have a, he's got a lot of people that work for him that are setting up these parties and everything. So they're using the RICO Act, the conspiracy, the racketeering act, right, to basically throw them away and lock up the key and stuff like that. And it's just like, these people are, they're all willing participants in this. They're all adults. Yeah. They're all know what they're doing. And now they just want to take down this powerful man because that's what they like to do. It's evil, in my opinion. I mean, I don't know all the facts.
Right.
We'll see what comes out. But to me, it just seems like a public lynching because it's just somehow fun to take down a rich, powerful guy.
Yeah. Okay.
That's how I see it.
Anybody else want to comment on the story? What your impression of it? Yeah.
It seems like an opportunity to point the finger outward at someone, and then again using that to say that I'm a good person. If I hate this person, P. Diddy, oh, he's such a bad man, I hate him. Which I'm not saying, I don't know if he did these things or not, but it gives a lot of people, the public, an opportunity to say, I hate him, then in contrast, that makes me a good person. So people always want to look outward, never look inward.
Amazing. Absolutely. How about the ladies? What do you think about the Diddy story? The little you've heard, what impression did it have upon you?
Well, it's been going on a long time, and I think, but he does have a lot of money, and he's been able to silence a lot of these things, like the video that came out with him and Cassie, the beating. He's a billionaire, and when you have money and power, you're able to silence these things, pay people off, and all these yes people around you, they're not going to say, you know, we probably shouldn't be doing this, maybe we shouldn't be giving them drugs. You know, yeah, they're all adults, they're all consenting, but some of these women being sex trafficked when they're under the influence of drugs, and yes, they're making decisions themselves, but he's had all this power, and it's coming to light, just like with R. Kelly or Epstein, and after a while, the stories keep building and building, and they've got videotape, and when the U.S. government comes against you, I mean, it's not looking good for Sean Combs at all. But I think when you do these things, you know, God starts to expose the evil acts. And I'm sure there's a lot of people involved, though. He's had Prince Harry, he's had a lot of people, so I don't know why they're targeting him. I'm sure there's a lot of people in Hollywood that should be targeted, but,
Amazing.
you know,
Okay.
it is what it is.
What do you think about it?
I think it's no different from Jeffrey Dahmer. It's evil. It's all hell. It's just that Diddy's in the spotlight right now. But for every Diddy, there's probably hundreds of millions of people that are just like it. It's just that they're not famous and they're not being exposed, and it's not a big deal because it's not on media. But I think it's no different from, it's just hell.
Okay. What do you think about it? If you've thought about it, the Diddy story.
I'm skeptical of any stories coming out of the media at this point, so I have no
Me too.
opinion. I look at what's happening to Donald Trump, and I just don't believe anything that the media says. If they're for anything, I'm skeptical. If they're against it, I'm skeptical.
Oh, okay.
So.
Yeah. Amazing. Yes, sir.
What hasn't been mentioned probably is the real story is that Diddy's got the evidence on a lot of people. You know what I mean?
All right.
Just like Epstein has. So right now, people are like, suicide alert for Diddy in prison. He's at a low-staffed, understaffed place. So
Okay.
Diddy might, you know, suicide it accidentally. You know what I'm saying? That's the real story. They're going to silence him. He's a billionaire. You don't just put billionaires in jail.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying? So he knows too much.
Would you ever do what Diddy has been accused of doing?
I want to say no. I think up to where I'm at in life right now, I've never attempted anything that he does. Maybe because I don't have money like that, but I just think it's.
So would you ever do what Diddy has
No.
been accused of?
No.
You would never do it.
I would hope not.
You would never do it.
No.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Would you ever do what Diddy has been accused of doing? Having those parties, women over, just having a hootenanny time.
Who wants to come over?
Anybody know that you have a lot of money and you're famous?
I probably would.
You probably would.
Yeah.
Okay. Would you ever do what Diddy has been accused of doing, having parties and everybody over, smoking, drinking, sexing, and everything? Would you ever?
I mean, now, no. I have before, of course. But I think that there's a little more to the story, and it's interesting, though. I kind of agree with everything everybody's saying.
Right.
But my urge to, or my instinct to judge him is being challenged, because it is very important to stay calm and not fall for that trick.
Yeah.
And I do think it is a distraction for sure. But
Yeah.
I also think it's very possible, because those parties are fun and a lot of people like to have fun. And if you have that power to bring people in and film them, you can blackmail them, just like Epstein did. And could he be that guy? Very possibly, but it's important to remember that you don't know for sure. I don't know
Right.
for sure, but something in my head tells me that's what he's doing. I don't want to get caught up in that.
Yes.
But the urge is unbearable almost. As soon as I saw that, I fell victim to that. I was like, oh, I know what he's up. Because I know some of these people, and they do things like that.
Right.
But
So
you have to
when
pull
you,
way back, I think.
So you went to one of Epstein party or Diddy's party?
The world's a big place. There's a lot of different things going on.
Yeah.
I never did like any of the things that they're talking about, though.
Right.
Because you're
Of
talking
course.
about parties, or you're talking about like raping people and filming it. That's a whole other thing. And
Right.
that's what he's being accused of. It's not just, oh, look at these parties he had. There's way more to it.
Yeah.
But it's my job as a human being to pull back and not just believe what the media is telling me.
Nice. Right on, man. Did you judge Diddy when you heard the story?
Well, it's hard not to with all the rumors circulating, but at the end of the day,
Did you judge him?
yeah,
You judged him.
yeah.
And how? Why did you judge him?
Just based on the allegations and also my personal feeling about him, just because he's, for a long time, he's been, like there's people think that he had something to do with Tupac's death, and it just seems like he's been shady for a long time, especially what people say about him and Justin Bieber.
But do you know if any of what they said is true or not?
I don't.
And even if it's true and you knew it was true, would you judge him?
At this point, no, because I'm trying not to judge people.
All right.
Yeah.
No. Okay. Amazing. Yes, Raymond. You judged him.
No, I did not judge him because I don't know everything about the facts about this situation.
And had you known the facts, let's say you were at the party. And you were there for a couple of weeks.
I don't know if
Would
I'll
you-
last even a couple of days in a party like that.
Would you have judged him?
Even then, I wouldn't, because I still wouldn't know all the facts. Because people like them have the wet method of hiding a lot of things from a lot of people, even if they invited them in.
Okay. Amazing. Anybody else judge Diddy? You judged him.
No, I just had to say that women can be crazy sometimes, man, and you mess around with a lot of women.
Yeah.
Something's gonna happen, man. I think that's, you know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
like the moral of the story.
So what you're saying is you have beat women up and down the hallway at the hotel? Because they're so crazy, you beat them at the hotel?
No, not at all. Not at all.
But you're right.
Yeah, man.
Absolutely.
That's what it comes back to. You have to know who you're with, romantically or sexually, and
Yeah.
you mess around with hundreds, thousands of women. Come on,
Yeah.
girls can be crazy, man.
Nice. Yes, sir. And then, James, you had your hand? Okay.
In stories like this, I've noticed that a lot of times it's somebody 10 years ago participated willingly, and then like 10 years later, they're like, oh, I regret doing that.
Yeah.
I'm going to sue
Yeah.
because I made a bad decision 10 years ago.
That's a good
I'm
point.
suing Donald Trump, or I'm suing this person. I don't know. That's weird.
Did you judge Did he?
Your first reaction is to, but no, because I don't know all the facts.
And
'Cause
why was your first reaction to want to judge him?
was like, oh, he's going down. But I like what everybody's saying. That he's going down. The distracting thing is kind of why now? Right before the election? I don't know. It's kind of weird. Like they've had all this evidence.
Why
this
was
whole
your
time.
first reaction to want to judge him?
It's the evil in me, to the evil of me saying, because but then when you kick back and you're like, whoa, I don't, like Raymond said, I don't know anything about this. I'm just a person in the world. What do I know about this?
Right. And let's say that you knew about it and it was all true. Would you judge him then?
Only if I was on the jury.
No, I mean,
I don't know. That's because all the things I've learned here and about life, I have no business doing that.
Yeah. Okay.
I have no business doing that.
Nice. Yes, James.
I've always been very anti-bandwagoner, and so I judged the bandwagoners, the people because it was like a whole across-the-board crowd going after Diddy right now.
Yeah.
Online. And I just roll my eyes, but I notice myself judging them. And I don't even know or care about the Diddy thing. Like
Right.
I don't even
So
like saying
you're
that
judging the people that judging Diddy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did catch a little bit of Anchor Baby's show, and he was reading like the indictment and how it's like this black prosecutor guy who's just trying to get his name out or something like that. But it's crazy because people look down on powerful men who go crazy with women, but the weaker men would do the same thing if they had that power.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's no room to judge them.
Every one of you in this room would do it. If you had the money and you got the keys to New York City, and you had the power and you can draw all these people into your life, you would do the same thing. You really would. It's just you don't have the money yet. You don't have enough. Look what you've done already with the little money that you do have. Only thing Diddy's been accused of, and I don't know how much is true, if it's true, it doesn't matter to me, is that he had enough money to have a bigger doing than what you have been able to do. Every human being is Diddy. You just like him, and you're quick to judge because it makes you feel. I heard some guys at the gym judging Diddy. I'm like, look at you, you're no good. You hear them talk about the women and on every woman at the gym just walking by, and I'm like, you're doing the same thing right now. If you had the money, you had to drag every woman at the gym to your house for a party. You just don't have the money, you don't have the prestige, you don't have the people around. Get some money, a buku worth of money, next week, the whole California will be at your house. And you'll be partying, and you'll be having a good time. And you'll be having drinks and drugs and sex and everything else. Every human being would do it. Yes, sir.
I just want to say one more thing. He doesn't have one. He doesn't have one defender. There's not one person defending him. It's insane.
Meaning that no one's standing up for him?
No one's standing up for him.
But that's what everyone in this room would do. Everybody that you invite to your party, when you get caught, they gonna bag out on you too. They gonna pretend, oh, he drugged me and I didn't know I was there. Oh yeah, you didn't know it? Why were you grinning so hard earlier? They'll walk out on you too.
I'd like to think if I had a public platform, I'd defend him.
What?
I'd like to think that if I had a public platform, I would defend him.
Nope.
Why?
What do you mean you had a public platform?
If I had some kind of following on a social media or
like
something.
if you were at the party, you mean?
Yeah, or just famous, and I would say, hey, guy, you know.
Oh, you mean no one is defending him, not even the people that were not there or involved.
He has got nobody defending him.
But that's the world.
Right. It's sick. It's really sick.
Because you have no friends. Nobody. The world does not love itself. Nobody in the world love one another, so they're not going to defend you.
And a year ago, everybody loved Diddy.
Right.
It was crazy.
Even
Key to the city was a year ago.
He had the key to the city.
Yeah.
Joel had the key to Arkansas. You think
Hey, how did you lose that?
When they find out when he was at Diddy's party,
Yeah.
you think anybody in Arkansas going to defend him? It ain't going to happen. But this is the way of the world, and this is every human being. Yes, sir.
Something that you mentioned, that if we all had the money, and something that made me laugh, and it reminded me, when I first got my apartment on my own and everything, I was throwing parties all the time.
Yep.
And I was having my girlfriend bring her girlfriends to hang out with my friends.
Yes.
And like you said,
Every
like-
human being would do it.
Exactly. So I think, going back on what I said, I probably have done some
You
of the
have,
things.
not probably, you have.
I have done. I have done some of the
You
things
just
he
had
did.
a little small Mexican party, but it's the same thing.
All we need is beer and a speaker. Low budget parties. But
Yeah.
one of the things that as soon as you said that, I'm like, with what little I had, I made a mess of things.
Yeah.
And I put my friends into my mess, because then they
Yes.
would get with the girls, and then they're fighting, arguing, and everything. And they're like, why'd you introduce me to her? I'm like,
Yeah.
I was
It's
like,
the same spirit.
It's
no
the same
different.
spirit, yes.
And you're lying if you say you wouldn't do it. You will. You just get a pleasure, a thrill from judging Diddy, and make it so that you can pretend you're better. But look at your life. You've been doing it already. Every human being's been doing it already. But you don't see it because you're not seeing what's going on with you. And you're not honest about what's going on with you. Even if you see it, you're in denial. I'm better than Diddy. No, you're not. And you're so quick to believe, and what you said, don't believe the media about this. They're not going to tell you the truth. They want the sensation. They want the thrill so they can make money and get attention for their media. They're not going to tell the truth. But every human being would do the same thing. And you already have done it. To a certain, oh, I can't tell you the party. I know what you mean, man. I've been to no party too. Oh, but I won't get into that. But everyone is guilty of that. But they're so quick to judge. You're so quick to judge. You judge right away. The young lady in the middle, do you disagree with any of this?
No, I don't disagree
You
with
just
it.
what?
I mean, of course, I've been to parties and stuff, not
I
anywhere
can
at
tell
that
you've been
level,
there.
you know.
You have that Cher look, that Sonny and Cher
But
look.
nothing like that level, of course. But,
Of course you haven't been to that level. You don't have the money yet. But
No.
you've been to parties like that,
But
right?
even like, I mean, if you guys, Michael Jackson, all the allegations that
You been to
came
Michael
out
Jackson
about
party?
him. Well, but that's like a different situation. But it's a person
Oh,
of
you went to a
celebrity.
Michael Jackson party, but it was a different one?
No, but I'm just, it's like, it's kind of the same, like how he got accused of things. But I don't know what Diddy did, and I don't know what Michael Jackson did,
Right.
but it's all very
And
sensationalized.
did you judge them?
I'm sure I have in the past, but I'm trying not to. And I, in my heart, like with the Michael Jackson thing, I never really wanted to believe that he did any of those things, and like things that come out.
But you still judged.
I try not to judge, but it's like human nature to judge. I kind of feel like
It's hard not to judge?
it's hard not to judge.
And why?
I feel like it's a human human nature just thing that people do.
Are you a Christian?
Yeah.
And even as a Christian, you judge?
I try not to, but yeah, I'm sure I still do.
Yeah, I appreciate your understanding. I know what you mean. Does God ever judge you?
I feel yeah, of course.
So you believe that God judges you?
I believe so.
And why do you believe that?
Well, I mean, I feel like it's the higher power, and it's. I try not to do the things that I would be judged for, but I mean, nobody's perfect, and you do things.
And so you truly believe that God judges you? And so you try not to do certain things so he will not judge you, right?
I try to be a good person, is what it comes
But
down
it's
to.
not working. Have you noticed that? Have you noticed it's not working?
I think I've improved as a person over time. Like there's things that I've done and that is regrettable. But
You said you have improved on those things?
Pass the mic. No, I don't know. I'm not sure what you want me to say.
I'm sorry?
I'm not sure what you want me to say.
You said that you try to be a good person,
Uh-huh.
and you haven't succeeded at it, but you have improved on some of those things.
I've grown as a person, like in trying not to judge people,
Right.
and
But you still judge.
I'm sure I do.
And you've improved on some of those things you've been doing, but you just got better at them? Is that what you mean by improved on
I
them?
mean, decisions like who I interact with, and
Right.
When you're a young person, like you're involved with people, different situations that
Right.
it's just like, oh, okay, maybe if I knew a little better at the time, I wouldn't have hung out with that person,
Yeah.
and be exposed to that situation.
Are you able to name me one thing you believe, and you don't have to go all personal and your personal stuff. Can you name one thing that God judges you about? Or has judged you or whatever?
Well, okay, so I feel maybe God doesn't judge me for it, but I have been married before and I've gotten divorced. And so I feel like I get a little judgment of that.
From God?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
or
you do.
yeah. But I got married young, and I mean there
He
were
doesn't
long
care about that.
relationships,
He's
but
judging you anyway.
it still resulted in divorce.
I'm sorry?
Like I had gotten married young, and it was a long relationship, but it still resulted in a divorce for
Right.
things. So it's a thing.
So would you ever get married again, knowing you've been married before and you're already being judged?
I wouldn't say it's out of the question, but I'm not excited to get married again.
Yeah. And so why do you think God judged you for getting a divorce?
Well, I mean, because when you take that vow, it's supposed to be a lifetime commitment.
Right. But you married a man that did not come from God. So why would he judge you for marrying someone that he did not give you?
Good point on that. Yeah.
So that was a question.
Okay. So you're saying he wouldn't judge me on that, then?
Because if you've given you that man, you'll be with him today.
Okay.
And the
True.
vow you made was not to God, they were to the evil, to yourself. You were lying.
Okay.
That's why it didn't work. Whatever God brings together, it works. It never ends.
Okay.
What do you think about that?
I hope that that's true.
No, it is true.
Okay.
It really is true.
Yeah.
Just think, whatever God put together, he said, no one can bring this apart. You can't break this up.
Okay.
You remember those words where you said, the preacher said, whatever God bring together, let no one bring asunder or something like that? You remember that?
I think so.
Yeah. God didn't bring that together. That's why no marriage work together, because they're not from God. Amazing, huh?
Yes.
So did you think of, because of time, did you think of anything good about you yet?
Anything good about me?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that was the question. Can I come back to that? I don't know.
So you may think of something a little later in the meeting?
Maybe.
Okay. If you come up with one thing, let me know.
No, I mean, I feel like I'm a good-hearted person, and I do try to help people when I can, and I am honest about things, and
So are you honest that you're no good?
I'm honest that I have made mistakes or made things,
But
decisions in the
but
past.
you're not honest that you're no good.
I guess, I mean, there's evil a little bit in all of us that's a little
How about you? Not
not
all
good.
of us, you.
Okay.
There's a little evil in you.
I'm sure there is. Yeah.
And how do you notice that? You said something about your heart was a little good and you done good things.
I feel like I am. Yeah.
Really? Have you noticed that everything you've done has been about you? So that you could get an excitement, some type of feel-good thrill or feel-bad thrill?
Well, I'm the person living my life, so I suppose everything is about me.
Yeah. Are you having fun right now?
It's a little stressful.
And why?
Because I'm not great at public speaking and being in the spotlight like this.
No, you're doing fine. Look around, all eyes are on you. Yeah.
Oh, I am.
Amazing, but yeah, when you think of one good thing, let me know.
I already did.
That wasn't a good thing. That was about you. Name me one good thing you've done for someone else and it wasn't for you at all. You got no thrill from it.
Do you have an answer?
No, don't ask him.
No thrill from it? I don't know. I guess, I mean, any good deeds you do, I guess there are some selfish aspects to it because
Yeah.
you feel good about it, even if, like, okay, we gave the leftover food to a homeless person yesterday, and it was kind of like, oh, it was a nice gesture, but
Right,
it's
you
like,
feel good about that, huh?
well, I mean, it was like
I just feel
we
the
stalked him to be
hunger.
able to get the food. We picked the person we wanted to give it to. It was kind of funny.
It was fun, huh?
It was like it was weird, but it was okay. It was experience.
You got a thrill from it, huh?
A little, I
Yeah.
guess.
So let me ask, is there anything good about you?
Yes. I'm a loving grandmother, and I think because I have God's forgiveness, I think we have a tendency, like you said, I mean, to make things about ourselves, but I think because of the grace of God, none are good. All have fallen short of the glory of God. But
So if none are good, how is there something good? How are you just loving
because
grandmama?
of God's grace, the love that God gives me,
So what's good about you?
my heart,
Your heart.
compassion, but it's from
What's
God.
good
It's
about your
not
heart?
something that I've derived from myself.
Right.
Because man is not good.
So name me one good thing about your heart.
The capacity to forgive.
So if your son walked out this room and never spoke to you again and took his family away from you and never saw you again, would you hold that against him?
I would be crushed.
But why would you be crushed if you had a good heart?
Yeah. It would just, I would miss him, and it would crush me.
But if you had a good
Honestly.
heart, why would it crush you?
Because I have feelings.
But so you have feelings, your
I think
heart
you-
is good, you'll be crushed, and because you have feelings.
But I think you could still have a good heart and feel that loss.
How's that?
I
A
believe
good
you
heart
could.
is completed. Why would it feel a loss?
I'm just being honest, it would.
No, I appreciate it. Yeah.
Yeah, it would feel, I think you could still have a good heart, and I would, it's just like if your child then started doing drugs, that parent, I'm gonna still feel, I'm gonna pray, and I'm not gonna hate that child, but I think it would still, I mean, honestly, it would hurt me if
Why?
I didn't have her,
It's not you doing the drug. Why would you be hurt by it? Why not just say,
because it's my
"Oh,
child.
This is what a drug addict." What?
Yeah, because it's my child.
But you're not responsible for his life.
No, that's true.
And it's not you that's doing it.
I would be praying for him constantly. I pray for them now.
And what
even
do
though
you
doing
pray
good.
when you pray for them?
Pray that God will just draw them closer to a relationship with them.
But why are you praying for something for them that they might not want?
Because I believe that Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life, and no one comes to the Father but through them. So I am going to pray for that.
But why would you pray for someone that you may be praying for something that they don't want? And why do you think God going to answer your prayer when you're praying for someone else? You don't even know if they want to be free or not.
Because they're blind. And I wanted to pray that God will reveal himself to them.
Why?
Because I believe the only way to the Father is through Jesus Christ.
I know, but why would you pray for somebody else for that?
Because I want their salvation.
But God doesn't care if they become a drug addict and go out on the streets and live that way. He doesn't bother with it. He let them suffer. And he doesn't like cry or
But they
think
will
about
be
it.
judged for it one day.
By whom?
By Jesus.
And why do you say that?
Because it's in the Bible.
That he would judge them for doing drugs?
Well, for the sin. It's all, it comes back to sin, whether it's drugs or there's like racism. It's a sin. It's not, it's just all
That's
goes
amazing.
back to the beginning.
So you believe Jesus would judge them?
Absolutely.
Oh. So you believe Jesus judges?
That one day he will, that it says that we will stand in judgment before God. But if you have the blood of Jesus upon you and that forgiveness, the grace of God to me can't be explained. It's amazing. The grace of God. You know, because I believe that a murderer could be forgiven by God. It's crying out to God in salvation. The robber that when Jesus was crucified, he said, "You will see me today in paradise." He probably lived a horrible life, but in that moment, that's what God's grace.
So you do believe Jesus would judge? At some point in time, they're going to be judged?
Yes, at the end of our lives, yes.
Okay. All right, remember that thought.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Nice. But you didn't tell me anything good about you. But I'll come back. Amazing. Let me ask this, and then I'm going to roll on here. Have you noticed that all weeping is complaining, and all complaining is accusing? Anybody ever notice that? Let me talk to the guy in the orange shirt. He's a good weeper and a good accuser. Have you noticed that all weeping is complaining and all complaining is accusing?
I'm not sure exactly. All I know is that you can't go in life as a victim. And if you go through life as a victim, you get more and more crap on you.
Are you a victim?
No, I'm not. I stopped because of you on August 4th.
Oh, good. So you don't complain anymore?
No, I mean, there's not too much complaining. I mean, not really. I mean, I observe a lot. I observe a lot.
Complain?
Do I complain? No, I'm not. Don't have any complaints, really.
Nice. A miracle.
Well, you helped Alex. Thank you.
Stay with it.
Thank you.
What's my PR guy name? I mean, my producer name?
Oh, Derek.
Derek. Anytime I have a producer, I don't even know his name. Like, good morning, hey, who are you? Have you noticed all weeping is complaining and all complaining is accusing?
I've noticed the complaining, but when I think of weeping, I just think of when Jesus was weeping and how how I interpreted was he was weeping because the people were lost and he
Well, we're
knew.
not talking about Jesus right now.
Oh, I was just
Have
comparing.
you noticed that all weeping is complaining and all complaining is accusing?
I've noticed it.
Give me an example.
Well, when you're complaining about something, it really says a lot about you and what you're facing internally. So I understand that. But the weeping is where I have a conflict. That's really.
Meaning what?
It's like I have a brother, for instance. When I see him go down a path that I guess I wouldn't like for him to go down, it does. I hate to say it, but it does bring out some type of emotion in me, and I don't like to say that I have emotion in me, but you know, it's just you grew up with somebody and you get attached to them, and you see them going down a path that you wouldn't want them to go down.
And why don't you want him to go down that path?
You know, it's destructive because it's a destructive path. But I understand that.
But why don't you want him to go down that path?
Why don't I want him to go down that
Yeah,
path?
to the point you weep.
I know that he isn't listening to God when he does go down that path. He's listening to Satan.
But why don't you want him to go? Why does it matter to you at all if he went down the path or not? Why does he matter to you?
Because I've grown attached to this person.
Oh.
Growing up, and you kind of want everybody around you to elevate with you. It will elevate, right?
Does God try to make everybody elevate with you when he's elevating you?
He doesn't.
Does he cry when they don't want to go down the straight path? Does he weep?
He doesn't.
So why should you?
You're because I shouldn't. I shouldn't. Why do I? Because it's an ego thing. You want to play God, and you want people to do things that you think is right, and you're playing God. I think that's the main thing.
And okay, why do you want people to do things that you think is right when you don't even know what's right? We having church up in here.
Well, you just comparing it to what you already deem as right? Like waking up, going to the gym, doing...
Going to the gym is not right.
Well, I mean, it's better than sitting on the couch and getting
Why not? Some people love
overweight.
sitting on the couch getting fat.
I mean, it's better for the body, I'd say that, right? You
And
know.
other people know who want better bodies.
Well, you know, eating right is good for the body, right?
All people know who want good food.
It's just, you know, bettering yourself. You know, you compare that to doing things that aren't bettering yourself, like doing drugs and, you know, going down that road of destruction. So it's just comparing those things. And I think in that midst of comparing things, you get the idea that you're God, and you say, hey, you're going down this destructive route, you know, this destructive road. You know, you shouldn't be doing that. And you get that idea that you're doing something right.
And do you have a right to tell someone they shouldn't be doing that?
Do I have a right? I don't have a right.
Then why do you tell them that then?
The ego. At the end, yeah, it's just ego.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you're bringing me right back to ego. Wow.
Nice.
Okay.
Do you weep for other people who suffer, whether they're family members, father, mother, sister, kids, or anything?
Unfortunately, I do.
And why?
Because I think I love them, that's why.
You think you love them?
Yeah.
Where's the love in that when you weep for somebody else suffering? How's that love?
Just feel bad for them.
Why?
I don't know, Jesse.
Do you think God feel bad for them?
No.
So why do you? Do you think God feel bad for your dad or your mama or your kids if they refuse to do right?
No.
Well, so why would you?
Because I try to play God
Yeah.
and try to be in control. That's why.
Amazing, huh? And then
Yes.
when you get involved in their lives, you just make it worse.
Pretty much.
Isn't that
Just
amazing?
adding wood to the fire, basically.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's amazing.
Yes, it is.
How about you, Omi?
The original question?
Do you
about-
feel bad when other people are suffering, whether it's kids, family members,
Yeah.
mother, father? You
I-
feel bad?
I do. I struggle with that.
And why?
Judgment. I want to control things. I want to control my life. I want things to.
Before you heard what he just said, why were you doing that?
I think for what I'm saying, for a desire to control, the desire to make things look, to make things be like I imagine them or I want them to be, which I think is inherently kind of a demonic drive.
Have you noticed that you make them worse, their situation worse?
You know I have. That's been a big lesson over the last 6 months. Every time I try to help, I make things worse than I could even imagine them turning out.
Yeah. And it's like mothers who keep their sons and daughters at home until they're 30 or past 18. The kids only get worse. They don't get better. They get older and they get worse. And the mother's destroying them. But yet, oh, I love them. I just don't want them to suffer. But they're suffering worse with you than they would be without you. But she'll keep them home and destroy them. And then if they try to leave, she'll kill them. But mother, I'm 50 years old. You ain't going nowhere. I don't care how old. Stay here and save your money. But I can't save money. I hate you. Stay here. Oh, my heart is so good. I love my kids. You gotta leave people alone and let people live their own life. You get out of the way of other people's lives. You don't have a right to get in the way of anyone's lives or life. Your life ain't no good. And not like you're a walking angel. But yeah, you get involved with other people's lives. That doesn't make sense. And then if they don't let you get involved, you talk about them. I don't know what's wrong with him. I tried to save him. I tried to help him. I done all I could do, never admitting I got involved with their lives. I destroyed them. I felt so bad for them, and I destroyed. There's no love in that. What does God do? Does God get involved in your life if you don't want him involved in it? He doesn't get involved with it at all. He and Jesus sit up there, have coffee, cafe mocha, and sweet potato pie. And they look down and watch you making a fool out of yourself. And they don't rush down to save you. They'll let you smoke pot until you're in the ground. But you're trying to say, why don't you leave people alone? Don't judge them as good or bad. Don't feel bad for them. Just leave them alone. You don't even need to have an opinion about somebody else's life. Yes.
I noticed that I always wanted to help the people around me. I always grew up thinking like, oh, that's what a good person does. Big air quotes. And the more I looked at that and the more I saw what a disaster it would lead to in others, the more I realized usually I'm doing it to them because I'm hoping someone will come around and save me. It's like, it's not even really because I want to
It's not even real
save
love.
them.
It's for selfish,
Right.
for yourself. You want
Right.
something back.
Right.
What a mess. What a mess. Leave people alone. Really. Your children, when they become adult, leave them alone. Let them, you brought them to 18, let them go out and find their way. You're in the way, you're stopping them from finding their way. And you don't love them. When you get involved with someone else's life, it's because you hate them. It's not because you love them. If God doesn't get in the way, who are you that you should get in the way? I want to be a drug addict. Okay, good luck. Go be a drug addict. I want to be homeless. Okay. If my own son was out on this street homeless, I'll drive down Pico every day and look at him. I'm like, what the? And then all his kids was out there with him. Homeless like living on a big tent. I'll be like, what the? Don't ask me for any money. I just stopped by to say hi. You don't have a right to interfere with someone else's life, to judge it as good or bad, or even to have an opinion about it. And the only reason you're doing it because you don't understand. You don't understand. If you had understanding, you would never do it. You would not get involved with someone else's life. If a bunch of men walked in here right now dressed to like Roquel Roches or somebody, fully dressed in dresses, makeup on, they could walk in and have a seat. I would have no opinion about it because I have understanding now. And if you had an understanding, but most of you will go, oh my God, little drag queen, I can't stand those men. They're all in drag. Can you believe that? You go right into judging because you have no understanding about your life. You start judging right away. Am I wrong about any of you? Huh?
I would judge it.
Yeah, and why?
Because it seems so unnatural, and I take offense at men trying to pretend that they're women. I do. I don't want them near my grandchildren. I don't want them near any child.
But yet they could be near you that will spoil them.
Yes, that's true.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
It's because you're not understanding. You have no understanding. But I understand why you're saying that. And you're right. You're not going to look at, you know what, I'm spoiling my grandkids. They're angry, they're spoiled. But a drag queen, you take them in, it's different. It's the same spirit. It's no different. But you don't understand, and you make judgments. Did you raise your hand that you would judge? Why would you judge?
See, what I'm getting from this is it seems like broken people are teaching people how to be broken, and then they tell you can fix it by helping people. Because that's what we're taught in school. Always help somebody.
Your parents teach that?
Broken people teaching broken people how to be broken.
He just said he learned his weakness from his parents to help somebody. You know, and other people, you're supposed to help somebody. You're in the way.
It means like everything I've ever learned has been a lie.
That's right.
That's deep.
Everything.
That's too deep, man. That's...
From your parents on. Everything
school,
you've been taught.
everything.
And that's why everybody suffers.
Broken people teaching broken people.
Yes.
Go help somebody, that give them a plate of food. And then, you know, that's an ego.
Even the preacher tell you, if you accept Jesus as your Lord if you accept Jesus as your Lord and Savior, you shall be saved. If I run down the church, to the front of the church, he gets saved. And they walk out of the door and judge each other. They walk out of the door in fear. They walk out of the door and argue with each other because you're not showing me love. You don't care about me. You don't this and you don't that. But they got saved by Jesus. Isn't that amazing? Did anybody else raise their hand that they would judge the drag queens if they walked in? How you going to help the drag queen? You know they're lost, that's why they're drag queens. And if you know the way, how are you going to help them? You think God is judging them? He's not judging them. But you do. And the drag queen is no different than what Diddy is going through and all those people that attend his party. Yes, Joe. I was just
going to say, Satan Satan judges us, but he's disguised as God. And
Yes.
we think that it's God that's judging us and that it's okay for us to judge others and it's okay for us to judge us because he has us believing that it's God, but God doesn't judge.
Nope.
He wouldn't convict you. It wouldn't make you feel guilty or none of that.
And why is that?
Because he understands that it's not of ourselves, that we don't mean to hurt people, or we're just lost in our minds, whatever.
Absolutely. You are free and don't know it, and something else is working through you and you don't know it. Because if you knew it, you would be free and you would never judge, because you will have understanding. Above all things, get an understanding. You got to get an understanding. It's not enough to just believe in God or believe about God. You need an understanding. And the understanding will make you free because you will understand. And understanding comes from God. People are not just doing these things because they just want to do it. Now, there are some people who have accepted evil and they want to do it, but some people just don't know the way out. They don't know what's driving them. Like you don't know when you get up every morning and you're lonely, or you get up and you're angry, or you get up and you feel like something's missing in your life, or you can't even sit quietly in a room by yourself more than 5 minutes. You don't understand either. Because if you did, you'd be able to sit in that room for an hour and feel nothing about it. Joya, all weeping. Have you noticed all weeping is complaining and all complaining is accusing?
Yeah, I understand your point with that. I mean, I don't think all weeping is complaining, but
name me one that's not.
Well, I mean, like you can weep out of gratefulness, or
What?
you could weep. You could be grateful and weep.
You ever seen a grateful person weeping?
Jesus?
Who?
Jesus wept. And I know
Jesus
you said
didn't
not to
weep
use
like that though.
I know, but I'm saying but that's the weeping I'm talking about.
Oh, but that's not the weeping I'm talking about.
Oh, okay. Then, I don't know what weeping you're talking about.
What weeping are you talking about? He's black.
I'm talking about
You know how black people are, right?
I heard you say it.
Oh, you've heard me.
I've heard you.
What's wrong with the blacks? No, I'm messing with you. Go ahead. So you said that all weeping is not complaining?
Yeah,
And what do you mean by that?
Like, I mean, not all weeping is necessarily negative. It can be like if you could just be grateful and then weep a little, or like Jesus in the Bible when he saw that they couldn't see, there's a little wept. But so I don't think all weeping is complaining, but in the emotional way, when it's like, it can be that way. It can be about complaining. So I think it just depends.
What?
You're staring at me.
Have you noticed all weeping is complaining? All weeping is complaining, and all complaining is accusing.
I didn't realize that all weeping was complaining, but when you said it, it made sense.
In what way?
It made sense that because usually, if I'm thinking about myself, if I'm that emotional about something and I'm weeping, I'm in my head. It's this huge story going on.
Yeah.
It's a story. I can't believe so and so, and then when I'm complaining to somebody, it's the same type of story.
Yeah.
So and so did this, and now I got this problem, and so yeah. I didn't. Yeah, it makes sense.
Joel, have you noticed all complaining is accusing?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I do see that.
You, Frankie? Where is he? Have you noticed that all weeping is complaining and all complaining is accusing?
I see it now, not in the past.
I'm sorry?
I was unaware of it.
You was? But you see it now?
I do.
Oh, okay. Nice. What do you think about that?
I agree.
You do?
Yes.
And why?
I'm not a big weeper, but I can understand. You said all weeping is
All,
complaining?
all weeping is complaining, and all complaining is accusing.
Because when a person weeps, of course, it depends upon what it is. It's usually they're having a celebration, surrounding their pity. They're just in a pitiful state. Thus, that's a form of complaint. And in terms
Even
of
if you weep at a funeral, why are you weeping?
because isn't there a time to do that though? Isn't there a time to grieve? Like it shouldn't be for an extended period of time, granted.
But when you're at a funeral weeping, why are you weeping?
I would I probably miss the person. I'm probably thinking I'm going to miss that person, my conversations with that
And
person.
so is it about the person that died or about yourself?
It's about myself,
Yeah.
for sure.
So it's false weeping.
Right, but I thought there was a time to grieve and a time to do everything, laugh, isn't that true according to
Yeah, but
the Bible?
you're better off laughing when that person died. At the funeral, you should be laughing rather than weeping. Am I wrong? Anybody disagree with that? You disagree with that? Oh, you don't disagree?
I wanted to say something.
Oh, okay. Hold that thought there. Isn't it better to laugh when they die than it is to cry?
Yes, I think that's part of it too.
That's in the
for
word.
sure. Yeah, it's a celebration of their life.
No, not a celebration of life.
Well,
the Christian turned it into that. But you laugh because that's another evil that's out of your life. But the Christians say, oh, we're celebrating. And that's dumb too. But it's in the Bible. You should cry when they're born and laugh when they die because another evil, something like the evils out of your life. They can't cause you any more problems. So when your dad and mama die, stop crying. Mama did. Daddy did. But you gotta wait and grow to that. So don't worry about that for now. Go ahead.
no, I've completed my
Okay.
thoughts.
Yes, Doug.
When I was a kid, at the time, I had a great grandmother who was alive. And I remember when I was probably only like 10 or 11, something like that, and she died. And I knew her, but I wasn't attached. And so when I found out she died, being an 11-year-old kid, I didn't cry or anything. I was just a kid, right? My mom was so upset at me.
Yeah.
So it's like a taught thing.
It is. If you don't cry, call grandma dead, you don't love her. There's something wrong with you. You must cry. And they're gonna beat you and make you cry. Isn't that amazing? Yeah. So one last quick question, not one last quick question. Yes, Nick. Oh. What was the last quick question? I forgot. Oh, how many people believe that God or Jesus judges? 1, 2. Don't be ashamed. I appreciate your honesty, but everybody else believe it too. They won't say it. So why don't you believe that you had your hand? You believe he judges? Yeah. Okay. And why do you believe he judges?
Judges the unsaved.
I'm sorry?
Judges the unsaved.
You believe he judges the unsaved?
The unsaved.
And why do you believe that?
Because it's written.
And what is the unsaved?
Not saved by Jesus, which in this day would be by faith, not by works. So yeah, I think that world, yeah, he is judging and he will judge. But for us, no, if you're saved, then no, like I said, all sins forgiven. So then there, like you said, there is no sin
Okay.
to be judged at all.
Who believes Jesus or God does not judge? Interesting. Why do you believe he does not judge?
Jesus?
Jesus or God or Mary or any of them?
I think he knows the way our life is going to form out already. So it's already before we even come to be. That's
Okay.
basically it.
That's why you believe he does not judge?
Yeah, I believe it's already, yeah.
And you don't believe he judges?
No, because whatever sins you may do, he knows it's not you that's doing it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the young lady way in the back, did you raise your hand? You don't believe that God and Jesus judges?
No.
And why not?
Can I refer to a scripture?
Yes, absolutely. We're in church after all.
It's John chapter 3, verse 17. It says, God sent his son into the world not to judge the world, but to save the world through him.
And what that mean to you?
That was never his purpose on earth, first of
Okay.
all. And then when he did die and save the world, he said it's finished. So he cannot be the same person judging, because the death was to supposedly pay for that judgment.
Okay. Amazing. Yes, sir. I think I saw you at one of those parties some years ago.
Yeah.
No, not, you were there too? Yeah. Go ahead.
The question is, because I like that scripture, but it does say pretty clearly that you will be judged. So why does it say that if that's not true? Is it a misinterpretation?
Where does it say you will be judged?
Okay. I should know this. When you, I mean, everybody knows this, right? It's like at the end of your life, you're going to be judged by the life you led. And that'll determine whether you get cast in the fire. And Jesus says a bunch of times, too. You know, he talks about if your eye sees this it's better to pluck your eye out.
Right.
Because he's talking about you're going to be damned, which is always confusing when I come here.
And what's confusing about that?
Because it seems like in the scriptures it does say that you will be judged, and if you don't know Jesus when you're done, Jesus will say, "Well, I don't know you. You didn't know me. I don't know you."
Right.
So I'm confused about all these things. If you're saying that he doesn't judge, not Jesus, but even God.
Somewhere in the Bible it says, all of your sins have been forgiven. And you're still alive, right?
So then Jesus said all this
Stay with
before
me
he
for a
died.
minute. Don't just stay with that.
Okay,
You're
okay.
still alive, right?
Right.
And while you're alive, all your sins have been forgiven, right?
Right.
So if all your sins have been forgiven, how can he judge you?
Okay, I understand that. Then my question is more like, why is it saying that after? Or is it because he said it all before he died? I'm confused about the part where it
I
looks...
understand.
Yeah.
Anybody want to respond to that? You had your hand?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think people misunderstand the judgment day. I don't think it's as deep as like judgment in that way. I think it's just like if you never turned your heart to me and repented, then you don't belong to me. But I don't think it's just like conviction or in that kind of way.
Yes, sir. You want to respond to that? Okay.
Yeah, I think God lets us judge ourselves to the point that we believe that God's judging us. But it's not God judging us. We believe so much about what we think about God that we take that thought and run with it, and we think that it's God judging us, but we just judge ourselves.
Okay.
We're judging ourselves.
Amazing. James, read that scripture for me.
It's John 8:15 and 16. You judge according to the flesh. This is Jesus talking. I judge no one. Yet even if I do judge, my judgment is true, for it is not I alone who judge, but I and the Father who sent me.
You judge it based on the flesh and not of the heart. And the reason you're judging based on the flesh because you don't even know what's happening in your own heart. You're not paying attention to you. And what you don't know is that there is no you. There is no one there. When God said all of your sins have been forgiven, when Christ came, he wiped it all out. And he knows that whatever you have done in your life, in the past or the future, I don't care if it was 1,000 years ago, that whatever you did was never you. It was something else driving you. It was never you. I don't care if you T. Diddy and T. Diddy mama was at that party, or Jeffrey Dahmer, or mothers keeping their sons and daughters at home after adulthood. It's not you. It's something made a home in you, and it has caused you and making you to do what you've done. But you think it's you. God knows it's not you, and because he knows it, he's not judging you at all, because he knows something else is driving you. It's not you at all. And if you can see right now that you have nothing to do with whatever you've done, you can walk out of this room, and you knew that there's no past or future, and you just live right now, you can walk out this room free and never be afraid again, never be lonely again. If someone were to attack you, you would not take it personally because you would know you are not being attacked. You're not getting mad because somebody attacked you. It's that thing that made a home in you that want you to get mad so it can feel alive in you. It feels alive. You don't even feel alive. You feel the pain in your body, but you're not your body. You're not your pains. You're not your emotions. You're not your worries. You're not your doubts. You're not your comparison. You're none of those things. But you won't let go. You won't let this go. You won't let the imagination go. And God told you, cast down every thought, bring every thought into captivity. That means every thought. But you won't let every thought go. You'll let some go, but not every. You won't let every thought go, and you identify with it. And then, and you're saying to yourself, I'm never going to get mad again. If someone attacked me, that's fine. I know it's not me. And as soon as somebody says something that you disagree with or attack you, what do? You go off. You take it personal as though it happened to you. It did not happen to you. It did not happen to you. When your husband or your wife leave, they're not leaving you. You don't need them. You can take them or leave them because you're free. You're fine. You have everything you need. You're with the Father. And all your needs are met. So you don't need love. You don't need someone to worry about you. You don't need somebody to take care of you. You don't need any of that. Even though we help each other in a physical realm because we're physical, so we help each other, but you, the real you, don't need anybody. But you think it's you. And you lie. You lie when you say I know it's not me. You don't believe that. You hear one rumor about you, you run crazy. You get scared. You say, what do people think about me? What are people thinking? What are they saying? And then you walk down the road, you look at everybody and see if they're thinking what somebody else thinking about you. Because you still think it's you. It's not you. You could be free right now if you let that go. If you stop identifying, Christ is not judging you. He just told you he's not. The only salvation you need to deal with is of the heart. You must forgive. Because your heart is wicked, it's of the devil. Your nature is of the devil when you have anger in your heart, unforgiving heart. But when you forgive, your nature changes. That ego nature starts to disappear. But some of you hold on to it for dear life. And when opportunity come for you to die from that nature, you defend it. You hurt my feelings. You said this or that about, what about my reputation? You think you have a reputation to protect? Diddy thought he had one too. Where's his reputation now? Diddy thought that all the people around him loved him. They partied with him. They came over, they brought other people with them, men and women. They came to the party because they wanted something from Diddy. He was known, he had money, he had fame. Everybody gonna show up at your party, you got a little name behind you. If one of us had invited all those people to the party, they would not show up. Because we had nothing that they want, their ego wants. They weren't at the party for Diddy. And I don't know what happened there, but whoever got beat up and stuff like that, they wanted it. That's why they're at the party. Now they can sue him and get money and more fame. Ego people are about self. Nobody loves nobody. Stop thinking that you are your thoughts. You're not your thoughts. You're not your feelings. You're not your... Stop identifying with them. If somebody curse you out, let's say you're married or you ladies are married, and every day your husband cuss you out. If you didn't identify with this, he wouldn't be cursing you out. It'd be on him. And when you walk out of that door, he will have to deal with his own anger. But you take it on because you believe it's happening to you. And it's not. Isn't it? These thoughts are lying to you about all. There's no reason to be shy. There's no reason to have fear. Zero reason to have fear. All of your fear is in here. Fear doesn't exist except in here. It's in your mind. It's not real. Think about that. You have fear, and it's not even real. It's in you. And then you say, well, you made me feel a fear, feel afraid. No, I didn't. If it was in you, you wouldn't be feeling afraid. It's in here. Satan tell you, be afraid. And you say, okay. You wake up in the morning scared. Have you noticed that? You wake up in the morning before you have breakfast, you had 10 fears. And then more than that, but you missed the rest of them. You're not paying attention. You got to pay attention. I said to the people, do this homework for a week. I want you to encourage you to stay in your fears, stay in your worries, stay in your doubts. Stay with them, and you will see that they're not you. Nobody stay in them. You try for a minute, but it's too painful. And you think the pain is you. There is no reason to be afraid. God did not give you a spirit of fear. Satan did. It is Satan's nature. It's his nature, and you have his nature. You need a brand new nature. I promise you, if you understand this, let the knowledge come and let it go so understanding can come, your whole world will change and you will be free right here. And all the way, if you die in your anger, in your worry, in your fears, then you're going to drop your body like that and you're stuck for the rest of you can't get out. Your chances now. Repent now. Forgive now. Change the heart now. Come out of here. It's just thoughts. If I listen to my thoughts, I wouldn't be able to counsel with nobody because everybody crazy. I mean, just nuts. And they say the same thing and they do the same thing. I can just sit, I can turn the recorder on in my office. I don't have one, but if I had one. And then somebody tell me their problem, I just turn the recorder on. The answer is the same for everybody. And they'll think it's me. Because the answer is the same, the cause is the same. I promise you, you don't need to be shy. It's a lie. You don't need to be afraid. It's a lie. It's just a thought. It's just thought that comes straight out of hell. Bring every thought into captivity. You have nothing to protect. You have zero to protect. You have nothing to protect. And the thoughts make you compare yourself to other people. Somebody can say, oh, I have a beautiful home. I have nice, fine kids. They always lie about their children. I have some of the best kids. Me and my great kids. And you go over there, you can't stand those kids. They running through the house and carrying on. And they can say, I got buku money, and I have amazing parties, and you want the same thing. You have one little piece of bread on your table, some water, and some dry chicken. And you have a roof over your head, but you think, that's not enough for me. How come one room in your house is not enough for you? Why aren't you satisfied with the little that you have? Why you think you need more? You fat and full, that's all you need for today. Why do you take thoughts about tomorrow? You're up here. And it's not real. I promise you it's not real. I remember once, before I even understood what I was going through, and I realized my thoughts were lying to me, and I heard, sit in your room, be quiet, and do nothing. And so like, okay, I'm gonna do it. And I sat in my room one time, and I've been working at this for 35 years, so y'all gotta catch up. And honestly, it felt like someone I was in prison, and someone isolated me from the rest of the inmates and put me in one of those rooms where you can't have no friends, no visitors, nobody to talk to, anything. It was horrible. But I realized, it was just so horrible. And I had these voices talking to me, and I felt the pain from it. And I was like, what? I'm even saying out loud, and it's not me telling myself this. It's not me making me feel this way in this room by myself. It's not me feeling whatever I was feeling. And that alone helped me. Because I knew it wasn't me. I didn't know what to do about it. But I knew I would never make myself feel lonely or feel afraid or have that kind of fear. And I saw that something else was talking to me. Something else was feeling it, and it was trying to make me feel it. You got to work on you. You're suffering for no reason. You're wanting things for no reason. The wrong reason. We got to have material things on earth to function. God made that possible. He also gave you to know how to make the money, make the food, make this, right? But you got to stop believing the thoughts. Your sins have been forgiven. And the reason Christ said he does not judge your sin, because it's not you that's sinning. The world have told you that your vices are your sins, and you believe it. It tells you you're a drug addict, so you're a sinner. That's a lie. You're a drug addict because your heart is wicked and you're trying to find peace. You're looking outside for an outside savior, and he can't save you. The drug can't do it. The reason you're doing the drug because you are lost. You have anger on your heart and you're living in your head. God never called a drug addict a sinner. He always said it's of the heart. Salvation is of the heart. But the Christians in the church tell you your actions is of the heart. It's your sin. And you call yourself a sinner, and then you tell yourself, oh, I'm going to be a sinner the rest of my life. Why are you bothering with Jesus then? Jesus said your sins have been forgiven. The preacher tell you that you're going to be a sinner forever, and you walk around believing that you're going to be a sinner forever. Believe it a lie. Living a slave, living lost. You don't have to be lost. You can be free. I'm telling you the truth. It's just here. It's not even real. But you're not paying attention to here. Pay attention to it and you will see. So next time someone disagree with you or attack you or call you name or whatever, watch what you're thinking about it and feeling, but do nothing about it. And you're going to see they're not attacking you. It's not even you telling you that they're attacking you. The devil said, oh, they're attacking you. They're making you look a certain way. They're making you feel a certain way. And you get mad, and that's what he wants you to do, because now you're giving him life, the devil. The devil live in you, and they live off you. They live from your reactions. When you're happy, the devil is happy. When you're mad, the devil is mad, and you give it life, and it feels like you give it life. But it's not real. There's a true happiness that only comes from God, and you don't feel it. You do, I hate to tell you this, but you do feel it, but not like the stuff y'all feel. Stop believing the thought. Be free right now. You can be free right now if you stop believing this. This for men and women. Men and women. You are free. You're just lost in here. That's where you are, and that's why you're lost. Be free right now. Your sins have been forgiven. It's not you. There is no past for you to remember. There's no future for you to remember. Only the devil reminds you of it. And when you overcome that, when you reflect on it, it'll be just nothing. You see, then you will feel God, because you will see where he brought you from, this hell that you were in. And that's what it means to fear God. You appreciate him. He brought you out of your hell. Fear God doesn't mean to be scared. You're scared to be a person. You're scared of this and that. What a mess! You've been lied to, and you're still being lied to. As you were saying, everything you've been taught has been wrong. You need a renewed mind. Everything you've been taught has been wrong. And now you walk around judging others because you think you got it. Someone that has it, whatever has it is, never judge another, because you have understanding now. You know what's driving. Those people can't help it. The same hell that's driving you is driving them. It's the same hell. And so when the world judges Diddy and others like that, you're not going to judge Diddy too, because you know what's driving Diddy. And all the people at the party with Diddy. Diddy didn't make nobody come to the party. He didn't make you get high. You came and you got high. And you had a good time. Isn't that amazing? It's in here. Stop believing this. Bring every thought into captivity. Of fear, of loneliness, of doubt, or worry, or the lack of, or this or that. It's all lies. Anyway, I saw a hand. Yes, sir.
Okay, I've wept by myself, and I've had such a good weep that afterwards I feel amazing. And I'm wondering, is that because I worked through the issue, or is that because I'm selfish and just
because you love pain.
Because I love the pain so
You
much.
love the ego. I wept, and now I feel good.
So then it made me just feel good because of my ego. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, that's
There's
what I'm
no
wondering.
reason to weep. All weeping have been taken care of. What are you weeping for if you got perfect peace? What do you need to be weeping about? Think about that. You have total perfect peace. All your needs are met spiritually. You have what is it that you're going to weep about? And if you're weeping over somebody else's problem, that's ego. You think you're better. I'm not a drug addict, but you're a judger. I'm not this, I'm not that, but you're judging. You know better. But you think you are. You think you are better than the prostitute because you judge the prostitute and you say you're not a prostitute. But the judge is worse than the judgee. You ain't no better, ain't no good in you. If you judge, you're no good. You're a murderer. Christ said he or she is a murderer, and never trust a murderer. Isn't here, folks? It is done. The kingdom of heaven is finished. There's nothing to wait for or anything. There's a new kingdom inside of us. Live from that kingdom, not from this kingdom. From this kingdom within. We have live from within, not without. We have a new way. It is finished. Christ said it was done. The death is done and everything. The only death you need to do is die from here, the ego death. That's the only death. And I promise you, when you truly forgive, and start coming out of your head, you will become a nice person. You'll be an amazing person. Because you're not going to judge. You're going to be the sons and daughters of God. And you'll be the light of the world. You ain't no light right now. You're judging. Even if you're doing it secret to yourself, you're still judging. God knows you're judging. He knows your heart has not changed. You can lie to yourself. But your heart is still wicked. You listen to gossip. Your heart is wicked. Amazing. I saw other hand. Jesse? Yes, sir.
Yeah, just bringing it back to the Jesus part. You already mentioned most of it, and I agree. And I think weeping is a judgment, ego, all of it.
Yeah, the one I just told him, he up there having a good cry.
And this
now he feels so good. Oh, I'm gonna be a good Christian now. I cried over you. What a fool I've been. But go ahead.
Yeah, and there's a reason why Jesus only wept while he was on the cross and said it was done soon after and died. To show us weeping is bad, you need to die from that, as an example.
The only reason Jesus didn't cry and carry on. He just saw that you couldn't see. And that's the reason you were suffering. He ain't like go and tell daddy they can't see it and cry, and he and daddy cried and and then I saw your hand there. Somebody, okay, let me just say this. From this day forward, leave people's lives alone. You can't save nobody. You can't help anyone. Stop it. Allow people to live their own lives, whatever their life is. Let them live it. Maybe they'll find their way. You get in the way and stop it. So now you're God. Let people live. Don't judge them, but let them live their lives. Let them live whatever life they have. You don't see God interfering, right? He doesn't interfere. He doesn't say, oh, my son, you're such a drug addict. You can't pay your rent. Come live with me. He'll let you go on the street in the wintertime. But you try to save them. Let people live their lives. It's like your children, your adult children. You owe it to your little children to be a good example and feed them. But when they become 18, let them starve and die. Leave them alone. Let people live their lives. Stop judging their lives. Anyway, yes, Nick, and then Joe.
I was just going to say that even weeping and complaining without words, just have it on your face, even if nobody consoles you. You're almost implying that because they didn't console you, it's their fault. You're just putting that outwards, even without words.
100%.
It's an accusation.
People love the word and weeping on their sleeves. Or somebody, oh, what's wrong? What's wrong with you? You don't look too happy today. Because they're wearing it on their sleeve so you can see it, so you can feel sorry for it, so you can ask what's wrong. And then they'll say nothing. But you look like something wrong. No, nothing wrong. And then they love the fact you're begging them to tell them what's wrong. Right. What a mess. Y'all got to wake up. and let people live. Don't ask them about what's wrong. They ain't gonna tell you. 'Cause it's a thrill that for you to ask what's wrong, because now you think you care. You're trying to show that you care. And then it's a thrill for them not to tell you. Because it feels good that, oh, I think that you care about me, so I'm not going to tell you what's wrong, so you can keep asking me what's wrong. Isn't that amazing? Huh?
I said the women played that card pretty well.
They love it.
Oh, yeah.
Well, a woman could be happy all day at home, and she look out the window and see you drive up, she'll put on her face like something's wrong. And then you walk in the house, oh, hey, what's wrong, honey? Nothing. She loved the fact that you asked what was wrong. Yeah. And then you felt good because you asked. Don't ever ask her what's wrong. I don't care how gloom she looks. There's nothing you can do about it anyway. Plus, ain't nothing wrong. But the hell in her. Let me do it. Yes, that's you're right. Let me take Joel first and then we'll come here. Then I got in.
Mine was about the judgments, but he may have a question about what you're saying.
Mama.
Okay. Okay.
Look how Mama tried to help. Did we just tell Mama to let people live? Mama, you're not listening?
I didn't want to
Mama
change
like,
topics.
no, go to him. He may have something else. Let him feel the pain of waiting, Mama.
I didn't want to change the topics, but I was mama.
I'm running this up here.
I repent.
All right. Wow.
But
okay, go ahead,
as
Mom.
far as the the judgment too is a thrill when you're talking about the judgment.
It's a thrill to judge.
But the judger must beware as well, because God will put the judger in the shoes of the judgee.
Repeat that again.
Like the judger should beware, because God will put the judger in the shoes of who they're judging.
Amazing statement, but they're already in the shoes. God's not going to put you there. The reason they're judging because they're already in the shoes.
Fair.
That's why they're judging. God's not going to do anything to us to hurt us. God does not punish us. God does not do anything but love us. You're already in those. That's a good point, man, but you're already in them. That's why you're judging. If you were not in those shoes, you would not be judging. Isn't that amazing? Amazing. Yes.
So, question about the worrying. It can be a sin. It was a sin in Exodus when Moses was leading his people out. The people started murmuring. Murmuring is worrying. And God hated that because all the miracles he worked, they didn't believe him. They didn't believe him to the next step, and God didn't allow them to go see the promised land. They all died in the wilderness.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was a sin because they lacked faith.
Worry is an impostor too. Worry pretend to be the light. It pretend that it is the light and it has an answer for you, a solution to you. It's all a setup. Worry is an impostor too. It's evil. And you're right. Somebody tell you they're worried about you, you better run. Mama called every morning. You didn't call me this morning. I was worried. Bye, Mama. Because that's evil. She's pretending to be the light. I'm the answer to your problem. Why didn't you call me this morning? You didn't call Mama. And then you feel guilty. You didn't call Mama. Because beta. You're crazy. I saw a hand, and I'm going to run real fast to you. What do you think about all this?
I'm processing it. It's really hitting me. I do have a question regarding judgment.
Yes.
So say I've experienced a group of people or something or whatever it is, and the opportunity comes for me to be around that group without being super specific.
Yes.
Is it a judgment for me to use discernment or at least wisdom to say, based on my previous experiences with this group, I would like to steer clear of that group or that person or whatever it is.
If you make a decision to do that, it's not discernment. Because a free person can be anywhere and feel nothing about it or think nothing about it. Because a free person be in that darkness, be the light. But if you tell yourself that or feel something about it or think about it, you're not discerning, you're judging.
Okay, so my concern with what you just said is, so then where do you draw the line between being the light in a situation like that or, you know, being in a situation where these demons could come? Because I've also heard you say you shouldn't be around evil for too long.
That is such a good question. You draw a line by never drawing a line. The light will do it for you. You shouldn't do anything. The light, just like evil works on your behalf, once you overcome this, the light will it got you. It'll draw the line. Never draw your own line. Because the devil tell you what you've learned about evil, like never be around evil people, right? And so the devil tell you, oh, those are evil people, never be around them. But if you drew no line, the light will guide you. It will guide you. You would never have to make that decision. Because God loves us. Most people don't trust God, though. Anyone that trusts, the mind don't trust God. But if you didn't trust the thought, the imagination, you'd be trusting God, and God will guide you. Because you're going to have to go amongst evil, because all people are evil, so you got to work with them, you got to be around them.
No, but what I'm saying is, well, this is the last thing that I'd like to say, and then I'll move on, but not just people in general. Like, for example, you tell guys to steer clear of women who have children, for example.
They have what?
Children.
Right.
Or a child. Say that woman's spouse passed away, and, you know, isn't it a judgment for the guy to have this preconceived notion that I shouldn't be with that? Like, you know what I'm saying?
He shouldn't have a preconceived notion about that. He should know, he should have understanding.
Okay, okay.
A preconceived notion is not what you should have. That's evil. And now you're basing everything on the intellect, what you've learned. Oh, I learned that you should never marry a woman that husband died or whatever, right? And you're basing it on knowledge and not understanding.
So
just
you're
live
saying
in the present.
Just abandon all of that, and it's a case-by-case situation as it comes up in the present moment.
Yeah, don't even think about it. Just live, and living it will guide you. Absolutely. Good question. Amazing. Hands over here that I saw. Here, here, and here. Okay, you have the mic. Go ahead.
Regarding weeping and complaining?
Yeah. Weeping, all weeping is complaining, and all complaining is accusing. Next time you weep, why are you going to be blaming somebody else? Or you going to be like, oh, I feel so sad. I feel so lonely. Or you made me weep.
So I'm trying to understand how, I mean, there's a certain kind of weeping that is like someone is moved by something. Like someone says something deep in their opinion, or something that moves them for whatever reason. What would they be complaining about at that point?
You say if they weep because, but who's going to weep over somebody saying something deep?
People do.
But
I'm wondering, but are they complaining? They're not complaining at that point.
But why are they weeping then?
I don't know, but I'm trying
They
to...
got something going on in there that ain't right.
Right. I'm where complaining is, I don't know. I'm not sure if I understand what complaining in that context would be.
Oh, you understand complaining. You're a woman.
No, I'm saying in the context.
You understand complaining. Women inventing complaining.
Which is why I'm wondering, because at that point, you're not complaining. At that point, someone is not complaining to weep. They're just, for whatever reason, like, yeah, they're not complaining. So I'm not sure if all weeping is, unless if.
You understand?
Unless.
No, I'm messing.
Unless if what you're saying is that it's related to something they complained about before. I don't know if that's what you're saying. Like, for example, some people could have said something before, and then another person comes along and affirms it. And then they're moved and they weep because someone affirmed what they're. Maybe.
But that's what weeping people do. They're always complaining.
Okay, but then that means it really goes, at that point, maybe an individual would be so unconscious to the complaint.
Repeat that? Speak up a little bit.
Someone could be unconscious to the fact.
Well, weeping people are unconscious.
Yeah, to the
That's
complaint.
why they're weeping. They lost.
Yeah, because many times I think in my personal experience, I could weep about something.
I bet.
That somebody has.
I bet you do that serious African weeping, huh?
No, it could. No. It could totally be.
One thing about African people, they know how to weep. They dance with it.
No.
And then they start playing drum with it.
No.
No, I'm
No, we've been brainwashed by Hollywood. We do the Denzel one tear thing too. But
amazing.
Yeah, but I think when I think about it, like, because the reason why maybe I might not attach a particular complaint at a certain time when I'm weeping, could be because maybe the being moved is a result of someone affirming something I was hoping could have been affirmed when I last complained about the issue. I don't know if that makes sense.
So, for an example, if an issue happened
before
and you complained about it last week,
let's say, yeah,
and then someone come along days later
and say something like, "I see you, I hear you," you know.
Oh, you better run from that person.
No, I'm saying
don't
sometimes.
weep, you better run.
Yeah, sometimes I'm saying the reason I could be unconscious.
That's all ego too.
Right.
Yeah.
The unconsciousness could be because at that time maybe you're not complaining, but someone
You still
is
lost in your imagination.
Yeah, someone is like
you have no business remembering the past.
Right.
Zero.
Right.
Yes, sir. Did you have your hand? Oh, it may not have been you. Maybe it's someone else. Okay.
This goes back to when you see somebody, oh, what's wrong, and you're like thinking you're doing a good thing by asking them, hey, what's wrong? And then 3 seconds to their answer, you're like, man, what did I ask them? Like, and then that's what you get for asking someone.
That's right. That's right. They be like, I'm hungry, I need $1. Now you stuck. You got to give them $1.
They'll go on, and you're like,
yeah. Huh?
They'll go on, and you're like, man, I just thought it was the right thing to do to ask you, you look sad. And then you're like, man, I ain't got time for this. What the?
That's right. What a mess. Yes, sir.
To what the lady was just saying, wouldn't that, if you're weeping, if you're moved by something, I guess something is revealed to you, you start weeping, isn't that like sort of a complaint against yourself? Like, you're like, oh my God, I've gone so long without knowing this. You're kind of judging yourself. So it's kind of like a complaint
One thing
against
for
yourself.
sure is not from God and it's not love. So it's something in the imagination that they've held on to.
Right.
For sure.
Or complaining against other people that they didn't reveal it to you sooner.
Yeah.
Or you're complaining against yourself, saying, "Oh my God, I've gone this long
It's
without
all
knowing."
ego, yes.
So you're judging yourself.
Right, you're judging yourself. Isn't that amazing? What'd you get from the meeting today so far?
I knew that there was something wrong with weeping.
I mean, about this is what you learned today?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And that I think there's also a difference between, like, if you have an epiphany and it's just something's revealed to you and you find it beautiful, and you could kind of tear up. That's not really weeping, is it? Yeah, that's something else.
Yeah, let's let a tear come and go.
Just let it pass.
You ain't gonna go weeping, blowing snot and everything. You made the joke too far.
But I did learn that weeping is complaining and complaining is accusing. I didn't think of it in those terms before.
Right on.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
What did you learn did you realize from the meeting today?
How much time I probably spent judging and not thinking I was judging, but I was saying like, okay, these drag queens, no, this is wrong, but it really came back to judging and not having that understanding of how much freer I would be.
Yes.
And realizing it's not like they're trying to offend me dressing as a woman, and my mind is blown right now.
Right on. You just think about it, God doesn't judge the drag queen. God knows what's driving the drag queen to do what they do. They have the same evil spirit you have. It's the same spirit. God not judging, he knows that they can't see. Forgive them, Father, they can't see. You need to know this so you can stop doing that. You judge. How are you going to help the drag queen if you judge, or the woman that had 8 abortions? Or whatever. How are you going to be of help if you're judging? And then you find a group of other people to join forces with you to judge more. And then you feel justified in judging. You go to church and find all these Christians, the Christians like, yeah, child, I can't believe they were dressed up in here. I can't, and now you feel justified for judging too. Why not tell the Christians, stop judging? Have some understanding. Get understanding so you can know what's driving that person. You may be of help to the person. You may be a mark on people that are evil and they don't understand how to overcome. If you don't judge them, that doesn't mean you're going to live with them, take them home, but you're a monster. Light is a monster darkness. And have no opinion about it, but just see it. Right on. Amazing. How about you today? Will you help that on, the young lady? Oh, did you ever find anything good about you?
It just makes me think that the thoughts that I have in my head that I don't know, like, okay, so I guess if I see a person, I kind of create a story about them, but it's not so much in a judgmental way.
It's a
like,
judgment.
well,
If it's up here,
I
it's
feel like
judgment.
it's my imagination that kind
Right.
of like, oh, that person grew up without a father or grew up without a good male role model kind of
forming
thing.
an
But I'm
opinion.
like, but it's just like my active imagination, and I'm just like, I don't know why I do that.
It's
but,
Satan up there. You listen to the devil.
Yeah, so I need to like figure out how to not do that. But it's kind of like it's not like I'm thinking those thoughts in a hateful way. It's
Yes,
just
you
like
are.
that. But
Anytime-
not purposefully, but I think I kind of give them an excuse to be the way they are.
But
like,
what you don't
or
know is
even a
that-
drug addict person, it's like, okay, what kind of childhood did they have that they're there?
But the only reason you're thinking all that because you've
Mhm.
heard it over and over and over again. Oh, they must didn't have a father. Oh, must have had a bad childhood. And that may or may not be true, but you're still forming an opinion out of the intellectual knowledge that you don't know for sure. It's enough to know that they're lost and they can't see as you can in your imagination. But don't form an opinion. All opinions are wrong.
Yeah.
That makes sense?
Yeah, it does. I just don't know how to make my brain stop doing that.
I understand that. Here's how you do it. You forgive your mother, your father, and let so God can change your heart, and then become aware. He will cause you to become, when he bring you, this is your imagination. You've been living in your imagination all your life, forming opinions and all your life about things, right? And so once you go and forgive your mother and father, God will forgive you, and he's going to bring you out of here, out of the darkness of imagination, where you've been living all your life. He'll bring you out, and then he'll let you see it. You'll start just seeing it, and that's him that allowing you to see it. He'll destroy it. He'll take away the thought, the imagination, which is evil and is of the devil. That's what Paul was talking about. He couldn't do the things he wanted to do because he was living in his head. He wanted to do right, but he couldn't do right because he wasn't right. His nature was evil. So he realized there's nothing he can do about it, so the Father brought him out of it. And he'll do the same for you. You have no control over them. You just need to see them.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to control
Right.
anybody.
You just
as
need
far
to
as
see
that
those
goes.
sides, but don't call
Yeah.
them you. They're not you.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
We just, do you know about the silent prayer that we have? To be still and know God? Did your boyfriend tell you? Is that your boyfriend?
Yeah.
I'm sorry?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
You're like, yeah. You don't want to admit it now, huh? But listen, did you tell her about the silent prayer yet?
I don't know about that.
And why didn't you tell her?
Why didn't you tell me?
That's my fault.
But just for the record, why didn't you tell her? You know that you need to learn to be still and
Right.
watch, right? Just for the record, you didn't like her that much.
Not.
Why do you tell her, hey, you need to, not force it on her or anything,
Right.
but why do you
Just
tell her?
never
she
came up in my head.
Oh, I see, okay. All right. Do the silent prayer. Do your little hooping and hollering prayer if you want, right? Oh, God, save me, have mercy. Bless my daddy, bless my dog. And then be still and know God. I want you to start doing that. And then, because you cannot control those thoughts, you just need to see them. And He will cause you to see them. And it's He who allows you to see them. And He'll destroy them. So give it a good try. Let me know. Give it a. All right. Any question about that? Any question? So, did you find anything good in you for this last hour and a half?
I thought we already covered that.
Oh, did you tell me yes or no? I missed it. I want everybody to look toward you. No.
I feel like I'm a positive person, and I have like.
What's positive about you?
I work for what I have.
That's a hungry person.
I'm a hungry person.
You're working for food.
Well.
And to pay your bills.
Yeah.
That ain't positive.
I do that. I feel like I hold myself accountable for my life choices, and I feel like I try.
But you're not.
I don't.
You have never made a choice at all.
No.
Not one human being has ever made a choice.
I don't know how to wrap my head around that.
The mind make the choices, and when you overcome the mind, God make the choices. We don't make choices. We're not in control of anything.
Okay.
You want to try one more? No, I'll mess with you. We'll
Okay.
work on it.
Okay.
All right. Amazing. I'm sorry? Oh, the biblical question. Are you one with yourself? Are you one with yourself? Real fast. You say?
I'm not,
And why you say not?
because I'm still overcoming.
Yeah. Not one person that listens to thought is one with self. You're not one with self. You're divided. You're divided. Stop listening to the thoughts. You'll be one with self. I hope this helped today a little bit. At least give you something to work on. You got to start working on you. You got to stop listening to the thought. You don't have to. But if you want to be free, you got to stop it. All thoughts are all lies all the time, and they run deep. You do not know the depths of your imagination yet. It's more than just hating your mama, your daddy, your friends, or whatever. It's way more than that. You must die. You must die from here. You must die from the imagination. And so, in closing, let people attack you. Let people say whatever they want to say about you. Let people whatever. Don't protect yourself. You're protecting evil. It's not happening to you. It's not happening to you. But you think it is. And you think that there is something to protect. And number two, leave people alone. Let people live their lives however they want to live it. You have no right to impose your ideas on other people and then try to make them live the way you want them to live. Who do you think you are? God? You're not God. God is not imposing. Why should you? Because you think you know better and your life is screwed up. So do the silent prayer if you want. Rebuildingtheman.com/prayer. Be still and know God. Forgive. Change the heart from evil to good, and the rest will follow. Really. You can be free right here. As the young man said earlier, all of your thoughts, everything you've been taught, been lies. It has imprisoned you, not set you free. You can be free and have so much fun and enjoy life right here. Totally have fun with life. Every day, all the time. There's never a reason not to be having fun with life. But you're living in hell. So forgive. Let everybody else do what they want to do. Leave them in their hell, but you can be free. All right? You got to forgive. You got to wake up to this. Pay attention. You should pay attention to thoughts all day long, 24 hours a day. You should live in the present, not in the past or the future. Just practice living in the present. Amazing. I hope this helped a little bit today for those who want it. We had an amazing is not even a word, women's forum this past Thursday night. Oh my God. Did we have like an amazing meeting, ladies? Yes. What do you think? Yes. Oh my, I wish I can tell you. I can't tell you this. We've never had a meeting like that before. And we had some amazing meetings, but this took it to another level. Ooh, I wish I could tell you. I wish I could just gossip about it. It was, oh my God. The men should have dressed in drag and been there. That's how juicy it was. But it was, the ladies are on fire. They are working on themselves. And stay with it, ladies. Stay with it, stay with it. It was amazing. So the men's forum, no, it's not this week, huh? No meetings this week during the weekdays, all right? So work on yourself. Pay attention to you 24 hours a day. Watch this. It's just thoughts. The devil lying to you. And you will get to a point where the thoughts will just pass and you won't feel the emotion from them because you catch them before they fall into an emotion. The only way you feel it because you're not catching the thoughts before they turn into an emotion, good or bad emotion, all right? Thank you all. Bye. Amazing. I have a biblical question next week. I didn't have a new one.